Right, counterpunch boxing. Okay, look, when are people gonna start listening to me? Damn it. Okay, look, I knew something was up with the weight, with Daniel Jacobs' weight. Okay, I knew, missing or almost missing that 30-day weigh-in, which would have, basically been disqualified. Barely making the this Friday's weigh-in, and then declining to do the same day weigh-in for the IBF title. Now remember, there's three titles on the line. You got the WBC, all right, the WBA, and the IBF. Okay, now the IBF is the only sanctioning body that requires a same-day weigh-in, which I am an advocate of because I think it makes it, it makes the fight more even, right? It's a fair fight because these other guys are ballooning up, coming in. You got like a welterweight fighting a light heavyweight, right? So I like the same day weigh-in, but Jacobs declined to participate in that same day weigh-in. So therefore, if he wins, he's only going to get the WBC and the WBA. Now, why did he do it? There's two reasons that come to mind. Number one, he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fees, all right? And that really does suggest a lack of confidence. I mean, he's thinking in his mind like, well, why should I do it? Why should I pay, or why should I even participate in that whole program because I know I'm not going to win? Okay, that's kind of the first thing that comes into my mind. And the obvious number two, he knew he was going to miss weight. Okay, now of course Gennady Golovkin, he showed up and he made the weight, and you can. And the rule is, by the way, a lot of you out there probably don't know, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know, but you can't be 10 pounds, 10 pounds heavy or over 160. That's the rule. So and. So what is it? I mean, that tells you right there. We already know that Saturday morning, Jacobs is over 170 pounds. Now, I think he's going to come in at 180, 185. I mean, he's going to come in big and heavy. I mean, look how he's already bigger than Golovkin. I think we're going to see a really big Jacobs, and not going to that IBF weigh-in. I mean, that's all the proof you need right there. I mean, like I said, the guy can't make the weight, so and which really is a shame because that's very misleading, and I think that's kind of a dirty trick because this is a very calculated process, okay, and they know exactly what they're doing. So you have Team Golovkin, they're thinking, okay, Saturday morning he's going to weigh 170 pounds because he's fighting for the IBF title. So to me, it's kind of a sneaky, dirty move that they did. I bet they had this planned. I guarantee you they had this plan. They're like, all right, look, let's make them think that I'm going to show up on Saturday morning, but no, hell no, I'm going to balloon my ass up to a light heavyweight. Forget the IBF, and I'm going to go in there and be, basically a fucking cruiserweight, against a 170-pound guy, so very, very sneaky and tricky. I don't like it, and you know, I mean, really, that's the only two outcomes there can be, right here. Daniel Jacobs declined to participate in the mandatory IBF title check. IBF weight check Saturday morning, meaning he is ineligible to win the belt, blah, blah. So he just can't win the IBF is what Dan Raphael is talking about there. Golovkin is defending his IBF title. Howard Jacobs cannot acquire the title with a victory because he did not participate in the required IBF same-day weigh-in, said the chairman, okay? And here they talk about, he's got the three belts, so now only two will be on the up for grabs. Okay, there's one more part that I want to read you. Let's see. Yeah, right here. When the fight was made, Jacobs committed, okay, keyword, committed to fighting for all of Golovkin's belt. By ditching the IBF challenge, Jacobs will save himself the sanctioning fee that will go with the IBF, which might prove to be a wise decision because Golovkin is a heavy favorite to win. So they're saying, why even bother with it because I know I'm going to lose, okay? That's what he thinks. What I think no. I think he wants to come in really heavy. but the Jacob or the Golovkin camp didn't really seem to care. But you know what? They did. They said Gennady is very excited to defend all the belts and blah 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 blah. You know your bullshit typical answer. But you know they've got to be. And I read a couple more articles online where Tom Loeffler and KT Promotions they are upset because again Danny Jacobs he made a commitment to. To show up for that same day weigh-in, and again, I'm a huge advocate for same day weigh-ins. I think it'll prevent a lot of this bullshit we have in boxing, like where you have Canelo coming in as a light heavyweight up against a guy like Amir Khan. It would prevent a lot of that because they can only rehydrate to 10 pounds. So you know, at the same day weigh-in, and then what they do after that, it all depends on what the contract says. But anyway, I knew there was going to be weight issues. I told you guys there was going to be weight issues, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." Once again, you don't know what you're talking about. But I knew something was up. I just knew it. And if you go back and listen to any of my videos, I said. They're up to something. I don't know what it is, but now we know. Now we know they want to come in really heavy, and just I mean, this is it kind of changes things. It really does. It kind of changes the way I look at the fight now. I mean, I still have Golovkin winning, but that was a pretty dirty trick. So leave your comment below. What do you think?